Okay, so welcome everyone, and again thank you for joining. So this is the second session on the Chakras series. So last week we have discussed about the first chakra, which is the root chakra. As we discussed, basically chakras are the energy channels. Which are located in our etheric or the energy body, right? So basically, wherever there is an energy channel, we call it as a chakra because it's like a wheel, right? Basically, it's like channel where we receive energy, we process that energy, and also we transmit the energy. That's why we call the chakra. So if there is a blockage in any of the chakra, then there will be an issue in receiving that energy, processing that energy, and also transmitting that energy, right? And we see the reflection of that blockages in our physical level, in our emotional level, as well as in our psychological level, right? So today we will talk about or discuss about the second chakra, which is located in our lower body, I would say below the navel. Um, and this is also called the Swadhisthana chakra, right? And this usually depicts by, I would say, the color orange. We have different colors, right? And this one is depicted by the orange color. Okay, and this is more about the emotion and sexuality. So the first level is about the to feel secured, right? And once we are it is about the fear and security, the first chakra. The second chakra is all about feelings and our emotions. Basically, we have to feel right. So the basic right of this chakra is to feel right from the inside. So once our survival is taken care at the physical level, then we usually think about our feelings. So the first chakra is related to the physical well-being, and the second one is related to emotional well-being. And the emotional well-being, as well as the sexual well-being, goes hand in hand. Okay, in some religions, I would say most of the religions, uh, this we consider it as the sexuality is it is condemned, right? It is not allowed to talk freely. Some people think which is this is not right. Right, so but sexuality is something very sacred, right? This sexual energy has to be celebrated. It is the this experience itself is the sacred, because the new generation comes, right? The divine creation is happening, so it has to be embraced gracefully and also, of course, in a right way, right? If your emotional well-being is not taken care, then we see the imbalances, or the extremities in our sexuality. So what we do is either we totally avoid it, or people become like addictions or perverts. So you should not avoid it. At the same time, it should not be done overdo. Okay, so it should be balanced, or I would say it has to be given its place, its right place. So it relates to the emotional well-being and the sexual well-being, right? So basically, this chakra allows us to feel our own physical senses. So we have five physical senses, right? Our touch, taste, we see, we hear, all those, right? So our emotions and feelings are directly relate to what you sense from your physical sense organs. For example, if you touch a plant, right, you feel soft, you feel happy, you feel kind of good feeling. If you touch the thorn behind the rose flower, you feel different. Basically, your mood changes, right, based on the physical sense that you are experiencing. Similarly, anything, even the fragrance, right? When the fragrance is divine, it's very good. You feel you are in a different mood, unlike otherwise, right? So, so basically, the physical senses are directly related to our emotional well-being. So, what blocks these emotional well-being, friends? So, it is the guilt. So, the demon energy is guilt uh, for this second chakra. So, the when it is balanced, right? When you are emotionally balanced, then you are able to express your feelings very well. But when you have a guilt, right, that is, it could be too much of regret, or you criticize yourself, or you self judge yourself. That means when you are condemning yourself, it is a guilt, right? So if somebody do to you, that's a shame, that's a different. But if you are doing for your own self, it's a guilt, and guilt is nothing but the poison to your own soul. So the soul cannot express or experience freely when your emotions are not balanced, right? So, and the same thing reflects in our physical level as well. So we wear masks to hide our own feelings. We cannot express our feelings very freely. Mm. So opposite of guilt is innocence. So innocence is it is nothing but pure, right? It's a divine. So when this chakra is imbalanced, it will stop you from being that innocence, from being divine, close to divine. So there is a this quote, right? The famous quote: "Unless you become the childlike, you cannot enter the kingdom of God." And this quote is by the Jesus Christ. You should become childlike. They are not telling children can enter the kingdom of God. You should become the childlike. That means you have to become so innocent that then only you can enter that kingdom of God, right? So innocence means be authentic with your own emotions. You have to be so deeply connected to your own emotions. So children are very authentic, my dear friends. They are very spontaneous. If they're happy, they laugh. If they don't like something, they will express. They cry. They mad. They will throw things. They do tantrums. Right? They are very authentic. Unless when we let go of our masks, even ourselves, we let go of our mask from our own mind space, then we are left with that soul essence. That is our pure essence, actually, our own divine essence. Um, so again, this like any other imbalances or any other chakra, all these imbalances happen in our childhood trauma, right? When we are very young. So most imbalances for this chakra as well come from the family conditioning and family upbringing to their own children, right? So the emotional climate of the family plays a very important role. That's why parenting, the spiritual parenting, is very important. So we hear, right, like mother, like daughter, like father, like son. This is true because they are from same emotional conditioning or same emotional family climate and upbringing, right? So if the family surrounding is healthy, then the child will be healthy, right? If they are emotionally balanced, then the child is automatically become healthy when they grow up, right? But if it is traumatic, that means a lot of drama in the family, lot of trauma, shouting, screaming, right? Emotional blackmailings, then children pick up those, and they have the same pattern when they grow up. So we know the children when they are born, they are very pure and innocent, but when they are growing, their upbringing, right, it gets influenced, or I could say it is reprogrammed in them by our family surroundings. Of course, social as well, but family when they are very young is also plays very important role, right? So basically, the emotional upbringing by the family plays a huge role. So what kind of traumas or abuses we see is like affects is obviously lack of affection, right? So a lot of people think that providing for them, taking care of them is only the parents' responsibility, but being for them is plays a huge important role. When I say being for them, right, it's not like you feed them, you take care of them, you pick them, drop them. Not only that, emotionally being there for them, right? It is very important. And also we kind of see like when they are grown up, they have like frozen emotions, right? Uh, Even though they have the feelings, they would not express because when they are young, either parents are very authoritative or they don't let them express. Right? For example, like boys should not cry, boys should not do makeup. So these they are not able to express themselves. What happens if young boys come and do cut the vegetables? Immediately we say you are a boy, you should not do it, right? So we are not allowing them to express. So that what happens is they froze their emotions. They will not express them. They feel certain things, but they cannot express. Their emotions are frozen. And lot of conditioning also, right? Either this or that. You do this or that. We tell the children. We don't give them options, even though there are endless possibilities and options. We don't provide them that ability for them to choose. Right there. So what happens when they grow up? They're incapable of seeing infinite choices. They see either white or black. In between, they don't know anything. In between, there are millions of colors, but they are not able to perceive. Right? Even when we are growing up, they say, doctor, you become doctor or you become engineer. There are so many other options. It's I'm not saying like you should not become a doctor or engineer, but you are not even perceiving this. You are not even looking into that spectrum, right? You see either good or bad. That's it. You miss all the in between spectrum. So that what happens is when you grow up, you cannot perceive different aspects of life. So you have very rigid thinking, this way or that way, my way or highway, right? There is a quote. So they're not very inclusiveness. They form their own boundaries, very narrow boundaries, and they just stick to it. And also people judge others, right? This is like a what you see, this is like a shadow inside you. So when you have certain emotions suppressed, you express them by judging others. So, classic example is rich. See, a lot of people judge who are very rich. You know, they don't have to worry anything. If I have that money, I could have done so many things. We judge very easily rich people, at least we see, right? The thing is, deep down, you wanted to be rich, you could not achieve it, and you start having opinions, you start having judgment. So, when you are judging, that is your shadow, your suppressed emotions. You're not able to accept those, right? Even the family, very orthodox families, very conventional, right? When you have very strict rules and stuff, when you grow up, you do the same thing for other people. You should not dress like that. You're not following your culture. We do that because when we are young, we suppressed our emotions and we very easily we judge others. right? And the other thing is also in the children, we kind of do a blackmail. When I say it, it's an emotional blackmail, right? We are working so hard for you. We sacrificed everything for you. You have to be on top of the class. We have a lot of hopes and expectations on you. I don't want anything except you achieving this. Nothing makes me happy except you when you achieve this. So when parents say such things, children feels like, they have to make them proud. They should not let them down. And that's the only goal they keep, not their own desires, not their own happiness. So what happens when they grow up? They live for others. They are not in touch with their own desires. They don't know what they want in their own life. Right? We see so many classic examples when people are getting married. Even I was like that. One time I can say, if they ask you what kind of person you want, you don't know. You can't tell because you are not connected deep down to your own desires. You don't know. You can't distinguish. You just say whatever my father brings or whatever my mother, whatever girl my mother says. Okay, I'm okay with it. See, so this is what happens when you are not in touch with your own desires, right? So basically, if you live when you are very young, if we make them live according to parents' wishes, when you grow up, you froze those emotions, right? Um, and also we deny the children's cravings as well. So they are children, right? They ask for food like, I need a chocolate, I need a cookie. Immediately we say no, you should not have it. But I'm not saying we have to give them whenever they ask, but we have to educate them. Okay, today you have a chocolate, later you have a fruit. We have to do the counseling. Or you can say, okay, one chocolate per day, you can do half now, half later. Some kind of discipline, some kind of uh, counseling or educating them or bringing awareness, we have to provide them. Or otherwise, instead of right just doing directly, no, you are not getting it, you are not supposed to eat it, right? So what happens, they suppress this those emotions, those cravings, right? And when they grow up, if they suppress, they are not connected, they don't know what they want. And if they are otherwise, they get addicted, right? So when the intensity of cravings increases, it becomes addictions. So what happens when there is imbalance in this chakra is, so you are not emotionally connected to others, right? And you don't trust others because you cannot trust your own self because you don't know what you want, right? And there is no joy in relationships because they are not connected. They're they're not in joy with them. They will not be in joy with anyone, right? And they have very rigid, very strict boundaries, and they deny of the pleasure even though they want it. They think that they are worthless, right? They think that controlling the pleasures is being strong, right? So all kind of the emotions that we see in the people who have this imbalance, right? Or if or we also see the other side, like um, they do not have any boundaries at all. They always want to be included from in the other people's lives, right? They seduce others, they manipulate their others, their own partners. They always want attention, they always want even validation from others. They cannot take any decisions, they cannot take any judgments. So and you express yourself in a very seductive way, try to like codependence, you cannot do anything, and you make others also dependent on you, very emotional, right? um, so these are also very classic examples. But if this chakra is very balanced, you see people, they are able to read and perceive their own emotions. They trust their own feelings, right? They have very high emotional intelligence. Even though people ask you to do something, you can let them know. You can say no. At the same time, you don't hurt them, right? You have very healthy emotional boundaries. It could be your own mother, it could be your own children, or it could be your own partner. You can say no without hurting them, because you have that emotional intelligence. You are very, you approach them in a very balanced way, because you know the difference, or you will able to balance your pleasures and also the enjoyment of life. You won't mix, right? You have a lot of passion in life. You are very enthusiastic, you dance, you are very creative. Very small thing you do, you are very creative, you very enthusiastically you do. You are always adventurous, always willing to listen and open to everyone. You love music. You see kind of these qualities in the people who have this balanced this chakra. um, some of the things, right, you can ask yourself, like, are you really expressing your feelings spontaneously? Or do you hide your feelings, right, in front of others, especially? And do you trust your feelings and and you make decisions independently, right, without depending on others or seeking approval? And do you speak about the past events with regret? That is also one of the imbalance quality, right? So when it is deficient, we see like very poor social skills, because a lot of people we see they don't even do the eye contact because they have this imbalance in this chakra, right? And they deny the pleasures, and they have fear, very low emotional intelligence. We see this, and when they have excessive of this, excessive of energy in this balance, it's opposite, right? They are very, their addictions to the pleasures or cravings, overeating, they manipulate, they seduce, they are very sensitive. They will seduce, otherwise they will blackmail you that I will die myself or I will hurt myself, right? They rule by their emotions all the time, and they will make other people very emotional. So these are some of the things, right? Uh, and so basically you should be in touch with your desires. You have to check yourselves. Are you in touch with your own desires? Do you, or do you feel shameful for having certain desires, right? Because of our upbringing or anything, we have certain desires, but we think that that's shame even to express, even to have those, right? Are you relaxed? Are you taking time for yourself? Or otherwise you are always busy either with the phone or with something. You keep yourself busy. If you're not relaxing, that is also one of the quality of the imbalance of this chakra, right? And also the intimacy and connection between the partners is also impacted. So you could check like how comfortable are you with the, touchness, or your intimate relationships. That will also tell your this chakra. Do you trust your opposite sex? Do you have a fear of, losing your spouse or your partner, or fear of rejection? If I don't do this, if I will they leave me? Will they not love me? Right? You do things even though you don't like, because you have a fear that they will leave me or they will don't love me, right? So certain things you just have to self introspect yourself. And we also see the physical disorders, right, in these things, especially like menstrual difficulties, disorders in the reproductive organs, like spleen or urinary system, low back pain, knee trouble, right? All the lower body, lack of flexibility, and you don't like loss of appetite, food, right? Sexual dysfunctions. These are all the physical disorders we see when this chakra is imbalanced. Mm. So this is pretty much about it. So what has to be done to get this balanced, right? Uh, Regular meditation is the first thing, obvious you have to do. And now you know these things, right? You have to push yourself. Like you have to understand the guilt is poison to our own selves, to our own soul. So you have to let go of your guilt. Learn from the mistakes. Mistakes are for learning, my dear friends. So forgive yourself, forgive others, right? And stop all the judgments, including to yourself and also to others. Don't even self judge yourself. Oh, I would have done this. I would have known all this, I didn't do. So stop all that kind of self criticism or self judgment, right? And also, most important, become aware of your own shadow, right? When you are judging, that means that is something suppressed in you. So that's something you could self reflect, or you could understand yourself and let your emotions flow, actually, right? We don't judge them bad or good. Don't judge them. Oh, I'm too old to do this. I cannot do this. Is it good time? Is it appropriate? That's okay. Let your emotions flow, your thoughts, let it flow, right? Go into that witness mode, right? And one thing is water energies help to balance this chakra. When you feel like you have a lot of thoughts, when you are feeling these kind of emotions, right? Good shower would really, really calm you. And when you are angry, don't make decisions. When you are guilty, don't. When you are especially emotional, don't make any decisions, right? And it's also very important that you are responsible for your emotions, right? Don't think that other person is making me angry, the other person has hurt me, right? You are responsible for your own emotions. Other people can trigger you. It could be your husband, it could be your children, your boss, your mother-in-law, could be anyone. They are only the triggering points, but you are responsible for your own emotions. So always introspect, and regular meditation is very, very important, friends.